With the announcement of Joker from Persona 5 as Smash Ultimate's first character in the DLC pack, sky has officially become the limit. Nothing is off the table at this point, and I'm gonna capitalize on that hard. Here are my top 30 picks for Smash Ultimate DLC. And before we start, we're gonna set a couple things real quick. No Square Enix characters. I feel like that's off the table at this point, so no Slime, Sephiroth, Sora, Geno, or my personal main, who I'm very saddened by, Gex. Also, everyone wants Crash and Banjo, so they're not on the list. Well, anyway, let's just jump into it. 30! Andros from Star Fox. Now look, this is going to be the only assist trophy on this list, but I feel that this character is different enough from the assist trophy variant to make it. Because like that's a big old robot head, and this is the real deal. This is the actual boy. And Andros is a pretty big part of the series, and since villains seem to be a pretty big standpoint in this game, I think it would be perfect. Besides, we need more science-y and, I guess, wizard-like characters. Those are very different things, but in this case, I think it fits. But still, he's number 30 on this list because, as I said, he's still an assist trophy, and after this, I'm making way for more original characters. But nonetheless, it still would be really cool to see this funny monkey in Smash. Matt from Wii Sports. Hear me out on this, please. So, we all know the Mii fighters are broken in this game. I mean, look at this. There's only one character in all of video games that knows how to put Miis in their spot, and it is this man right here. Besides, Wii Sports is the highest selling game on a single platform of all time, so of course they should get representation in Smash, the greatest crossover in video game history. We must give Matt a whole new playing field and let the champion reign supreme. When I'm looking at the Smash roster, there's a big problem I see that I think all of you should be able to as well. There's a severe lack of radical dudes here. The closest we got is maybe old Captain Falcon or maybe even Mr. Lombardi over here, but I think to restore the cool factor that this roster needs, I have the perfect candidate. My boy Johnny Napalm from Guitar Hero. Johnny Napalm is pretty much the face of this series, being on the box art of the very first game, and I think that over the course of these games he's developed a pretty substantial moveset that could work very well in the game. And just imagine it, you're on their stage, you got Donkey Kong, you got Wolf going at it, and in the background you're just hearing. And I think it'd be great to see Johnny come and embrace the embodiment of chaos that he is. It would be, as British characters like he says, smashing. Isaac. Oh, sorry, not that one. From the Binding of Isaac. Isaac is a character that I feel would have many possible weapons and traits that would make for a great moveset in Smash. The game itself has a very interesting premise and is on Switch, which I think could lead to many possibilities for stages and music, and plenty overall to work with. So even though we couldn't have one Isaac, I think we can make do with the other. 26. Knights from Nights into Dreams. This goes back to what I said in Andros' thing about needing more magical characters in the game, and I think Knights is pretty much the personification of that sort of category. Besides, Sega may have Sonic and Bayo and now Joker in the mix, but there's still a severe lack of Sega potential in the game. Nintendo really needs to take advantage of what they have and put this little lady in Smash. I really think it would be a dream come true for a lot of people. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Raven from Fortnite. Now, I'm not a big fan of Fortnite in all honesty, but I can recognize that it's popular and it's big. It's on a Nintendo console now, and I think this has caught Nintendo's eye. And I don't think it's very far out there to say they would put a character from such a popular game into Smash Ultimate. But why Raven? I think, besides the fact that it looks the coolest, that this skin is arguably the most popular one, actually crashing the site when it went up from so many people buying it. So in short, if it were to happen, this would be the one. Now, up until this point, y'all have heard some pretty crazy picks and some rather hot takes, so I hope y'all trust me in this when I stake my claim on this part. But listen, this character is a gaming icon and has earned a spot in Smash no matter what anyone has as a counter argument. And that character is Mavis Beacon. I want anyone watching this video right now to look me in the eye and say that Mavis Beacon is not a gaming icon who has made her way to the path to Smash Bros. But in all seriousness, while it may seem kind of strange to model a real-life woman into a Smash-fied art, I think it would come out relatively well, and I think that all the various minigames along it could create a fascinating moveset. And if Wii Fit Trainer can be in the game and it's just a regular woman, I don't see a counter-argument against my girl Mavis Beacon. Sans from Undertale. People have been wanting an indie game rep in Smash Ultimate for a while, and after Shovel Knight has been deconfirmed to the class of an assist trophy, honestly I think Sans just has the best chance at this point. He's a well-known character from a well-established game, and he has quite the following behind him. Besides, Undertale's on the Switch now, and all the stars are aligning for this abomination to just come true. Flippy from Toontown. Now I know your first thought, but Anerdymous, that's stupid, but Anerdymous, that's from a Disney game, you can't let that happen. But if people can want Sora, I don't think it would be too big of a stretch to have Flippy in either. Toontown offers all sorts of gags, which would make a great moveset for Flippy in-game since he is the master of the gags. And overall, I think a Toontown stage would offer a lot of silly antics to go on, and I think he would fit very well into the cast of Smash Ultimate. Steve from Minecraft. Now, going back to what I said about Sans being the best indie game rep for Smash, I think that actually would not be true if my boy Steve is a part of the picture. Minecraft is actually on the Switch, and we're not gonna really talk about the 3DS version, but overall, it's the second highest sold game of all time, only below Tetris. And I think that would definitely call for a rep in Smash, since it's become more of a celebration of gaming altogether. And I mean, since we're going off of most sold games of all time, why not add the other ones? Why not Tetris? A Tetris character, yeah. How about Trevor from GTA 5 too? Yeah, that'd be good, alright. And what's next on the list? Let's see. Tetris, Minecraft, GTA, Wii Sports, yeah, good. Oh no. Okay, so the indie game rep debate may be a little oversaturated at this point, so how about we move to a different platform or genre? How about a mobile game rep? Now wait. Barbarian from Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans was an extremely popular video game back in the day, and heck, there's still videos being made about it today. But I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, oh, another sword character, how original. But here's where it would get interesting. Duck Hunt isn't just the dog and the duck, you know. He's also someone operating outside with the blaster. So what if Barbarian's attacks revolved around troop placing? Instead of just using his sword to attack, he could summon a wizard, or he could fly with a balloon. There's plenty of options when it comes to a mobile game with such a diverse cast of characters. I think Barbarian would be the best rep from any mobile game, because I don't want to talk about any others, so let's just move on. Night 2. It may come as a surprise to many of you, but I am a pretty big fan of art and animation, and I think no better video game character can encapsulate that love better than Dirk the Daring from Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is an arcade game that came out in about 1983 and is animated entirely by legend Don Bluth. And I think with how groundbreaking this game was, it definitely deserves some representation in Smash Ultimate. It could even be special and have him be a 2D character like Mr. Game & Watch. And even though he just seems like a boring swords character, he is Don Bluth's boring swords character. Ezio from Assassin's Creed. When I look at this character, I think of a ruthless mercenary type like Snake. Tasty. Someone who I feel could hold on to walls. Someone who I feel deserves to be in Smash for having some of the best games of their entire series. I feel that the skills that come with his job would lead to an outstanding moveset. Plus, Assassin's Creed music is fantastic, especially for sea shanties.
Oh, do me Johnny Poker, the meat is never sober. Do me Johnny Poker, do.
Phenomenal. In short, I think Ezio would be an outstanding addition to Smash, and with the reveal of a character like Joker, I don't think it'll be too out of the question. Maxwell from Scribblenauts. Now when I think of a good pick for Smash DLC, I think of a character that would have a unique moveset, and I can see unlimited potential with this character. Scribblenauts has been a big part of a lot of people's childhoods, and I think having Maxwell come in to beat on some other characters would be a dream come true for them. There isn't too much to really say about Maxwell, but I think overall he'd be a very good pick. Krypto from Destroy All Humans. This game needs to make a comeback, and what better way to do that than by releasing it on the Switch as well as putting this boy in Smash. Krypto has plenty of powers, from his special gun to his telekinetic abilities, that can make for a great moveset in Smash. Again, there isn't too much to say about him, but I think overall he'd just be a great character, and I also hope that his addition to the game would cause a re-spark in his series. On the topic of weird creatures in white suits holding a gun, how about Earthworm Jim? Of all the characters on this list, I think Earthworm Jim has one of the highest chances out of any of them, strictly because of how much of an icon he seems to be and would fit in well with Mario and Sonic and all the others of the like. But while we're on it, we might as well throw in all the other short-lived video game mascots. Why not add Bubsy? His special thing is he actually takes fall damage. 14. Enig from Shufflepuck Cafe. I bet you didn't understand a word of what I just said. Let me break it down for you. Shufflepuck Cafe is a game made for a lot of different consoles, including the NES, and is honestly one of my favorite games of all time. It's essentially just air hockey, but this game also has a very diverse cast of characters ranging from magical, beautiful women to drunken aliens. But we're mainly talking about my boy, Enig, otherwise known as the General. This man is obsessed with Shufflepuck, and he is obsessed with pretending to be a general, and he's also recently divorced. If that doesn't shout the 3 criteria to be in Smash, I don't know what is. This slot is mainly just a gush about how much I love Shufflepuck Cafe, and I hope that you also play it after this video. But adding Enig to Smash would hopefully cause a resurgence in Shufflepuck, and hopefully a new one. This game really deserves to be brought back. It's been 30 years. And what better way to do it than with the general leading his army into the game? I'm honestly surprised that there hasn't been a PC game rep for Smash yet. But don't worry, Nintendo, I got your backs, because I have the perfect candidate. Give it up for Delrith from RuneScape. RuneScape has been a big part of my life and a big part of a lot of other people's lives. But what's the first quest? Typically the first quest that anyone would do? Demon Slayer. Everyone remembers doing their Demon Slayer quest, how good it felt to get the Silverlight, and how amazing it was to put away Delrith after a strong battle. But I don't think Delrith has been done the justice he deserves for being such a big part of people's childhoods. The only way I see it to give him justice is to put him in Smash. Delrith could have a lot of powers ranging from fire to dark magic to just straight up hitting you. It would really test his might as a character who can only be put away by the Silverlight. He could have a nice little team with Ganondorf as strong villains summoned every few years that can only be put away by a mystical sword. Overall, I think Delrith and RuneScape as a whole should be put in this game. And could you just imagine the music that would be added. I know a couple tracks that I would be getting down to regularly, and you all know which one I'm talking about. 12! Bandit from Risk of Rain. Now, the 2 longtime fans of mine know that I adore Risk of Rain, and it was one of the first series I ever actually did on this channel. I know I never unlocked Bandit in the series because I was bad at the game, but I know much about him, and I know out of all the characters he would have the best moveset of any. Imagine just a cowboy guy firing off shots, throwing dynamite, and just causing mayhem in this game. And with Risk of Rain 2 coming, I think it would be the best time to add a man who would bring such Pyrrhic plunder to the mix. 11! I have no regrets or apologies. It's Pepsi Man! I will stand my ground and fight my last dying breath that Pepsi Man is more than just a meme. This game is phenomenal, although extremely difficult, and I think he deserves to at least be ported to the States. I mean, come on, it's been like 20 years and we still haven't gotten anything, even though the entire game is in English. But I digress. People might think it's silly to have Pepsi Man come into a fighting game, but little do they know that was actually one of his first appearances, if not his first. And I'd really, really love to hear that kicking bass line as I beat down all the opponents that stand in his way. 10! Greymon from Digimon. I think it's safe to say that we could have one more gigantic destructive reptile in the game. at least when it comes from this franchise. It may seem a little strange since most people associate the start of Digimon as the manga or the show before Digimon Worlds came out, but they actually started as the Digivice as a way to rival the Tamagotchi. And who was one of the first ones on there? You bet it was Greymon. Greymon's former stage, Agumon, is the face of the series, and I think having his bigger form in this game would be spectacular. People could finally have the ultimate showdown where they pit Charizard and Greymon, and they could see who would win, because I know a lot of people aren't very happy about that death battle. Nine! Now I know I've talked about an indie game rep, a PC game rep, and a mobile game rep. But what about another one? What about a Flash game rep? The only obvious choice would have to be Fancy Pants. Everyone in their life who has owned a computer and is watching this video right now has most likely played a Flash game in their life. Whether it be Fancy Pants Adventures or another, it's obvious that it has become a staple in a lot of people's lives. Something that you can just make and put on the internet and people will play it and enjoy it? This is revolutionary. And I think this revolutionary status of a video game deserves a rep in Smash, and there's no better choice than Fancy Pants himself. As a matter of fact, this Flash game has become so popular it's even been ported to the PS4. I think that Fancy Pants would be an amazing addition into the game, and would be more of a 2D character, kind of like Mr. Game & Watch. And like Mr. Game & Watch, and even Pac-Man, Fancy Pants could use moves that come from a variety of different Flash games, kind of like how Pac-Man has moves that don't originate from Pac-Man, and Mr. Game & Watch kind of has a collection of games as his moveset. Look, I know you've been through a lot, but I promise these final 8 are a little more realistic and normal picks, I suppose. So, just stick around, you know? But with that out of the way, number 8 is Doomslayer. With Doom 2016 being put on the Switch, I think that there is only a matter of time before they add Doomslayer to the game. I don't think the guy who kills demons would be any different from the woman who kills the angels. So I don't think there's a problem of rating or content of the game whatsoever. Doomslayer, I feel, would also just be a really fun character to play as, just jumping around, shooting everyone. Final Smash, pull out the BFG and just wipe everyone clean off the map. And plus, with the new Doom game coming, it wouldn't be far out of the question for them to reveal him for DLC, kinda like how they did for Isabelle. And trust me, this is not the first or the last time I have compared Doomslayer to Isabelle. Seven. Dovahkiin from Skyrim. You know it, I know it. Todd Howard loves Skyrim. He wants to get his hands on anything he can to promote this game. And I think a Smash character is probably one of the greatest ways he could go about doing it. Dovahkiin can have a very extensive moveset ranging from his sword to his shield to a kind of a Falcon Punch-like Fusro dive. I think that Dovahkiin would be one of the best sword players in the entire game, and I think he'd have a great shot at getting in, because we all know that Todd isn't going to say no to another way to plug Skyrim. Six. Masur Mummy from ARMS. Oh boy, what's this, like the third Nintendo character on this list? What a shock in a list about DLC characters for a Nintendo game. But since Springman was confirmed as an assist trophy and Ribbon Girl as a Mii costume, I'd say our best bet for any ARMS rep would have to be Master Mummy. It would be good to have another heavy character in the game, which is what I usually go for. and especially since I main Masur Mummy in ARMS, that I feel there's still a lot of untapped potential you could do for an ARMS character. I guess another good rep would be like Helix. I think he would have a good dodge. He'd just be a funny character. But overall, I think Masur Mummy would have the best chance, and we can finally have some ARMS music in the game. Even with the assist trophy and the Mii costume and the spirits, there's still no ARMS music in the entire game. So I think Sakurai may be holding on to it for him to reveal my big raggedy boy. Hollow Knight. Out of any of the possible indie game reps, I definitely want Hollow Knight the most out of any of them. I think his aesthetic is phenomenal, I think his moveset would be great. I just love everything about him. His game is great, it's on the Switch, which is a big plus. My only real concern with him is I feel people would be very upset if he got in over Shovel Knight as the indie game rep knight. But especially a bug character, which I think would be original to the roster. I think all the stars just align for Hollow Knight to be a great rep in Smash. And if you thought that Hollow Knight's game was hard, just imagine how hard his CPU would be. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. We have Ryu. There's a Mii costume of Heihachi in 4. Mortal Kombat is the only really big fighting game that has not gotten any credit in Smash Ultimate yet. And I think with the reveal of Mortal Kombat 11 coming out, that Scorpion has a phenomenal chance of getting in the game. I'm sure people are saying, oh, it's too bloody, it's too gory, it's rated M. But take a look at all these other M-rated games that have a character in Smash. A lot of them are pretty violent too. I don't think there would really be anything to hold back Scorpion at this point. Maybe a few years ago in Brawler 4, but this is the new days of Smash, and anything is possible at this point. Plus, we all just want to hear that tether grab. Get over here! 3! When I was making this list, I tried my best to avoid spirits the best I could. But dang it, I just really want King Hippo in the game. Punch-Out is criminally underrated in Smash and in general, and I think the addition of King Hippo would just give it some respect it deserves. If we're excluding spirits, I'd say a good option would be Aaron Ryan, because I think that of all the characters besides Hippo, he has the best possibility for a moveset with his boxing glove on a string, which I don't think is in regs, but anything is legal in this boxing arena. But really, I think it's just time to let the king shine. Again, we need another heavy character, and I think he could rival K. Rool with just about everything, because he is K. Rool. Plus, we already have Mega Man, Simon Belmont, and Pit. We might as well have the villain of Captain N as well. Sceptile, the Pokemon. Now I know there's 8 Pokemon reps already, but think about this. There's 2 water starters, Squirtle and Greninja. There's 2 fire starters, Charizard and Incineroar. There's only 1 grass starter, and that's Ivysaur. And I think of any grass starter that would be a good addition to kinda balance out everything, it would have to be Sceptile. Being the fastest of all grass types, I think Sceptile would be a phenomenal addition to the game, and the saddest part of it all is that Hoenn does not have any rep in Smash. In fact, it's one of the only 2 gens that don't have a rep in Smash, the other being Unova. Now you know what? I am not about exclusion. So put in Sceptile, and also add Golurk for Smash. Staking my claim right here, they would both be phenomenal additions. number one spot goes not only to my favorite pick for DLC, it also goes to a character from my favorite game, and honestly, one of my favorite video game characters of all time. And that character is Emeril from Sonic Battle. Out of any Sonic rep that could possibly be added, besides Knuckles or Shadow who have been deconfirmed, Emeril seems to be the best possible choice. Sonic Battle is my favorite game of all time. I love the story, I love Emeril, I love everything about it, and it's such an underrated game, and Sonic is a severely underrated franchise in Smash. There's so much potential that could be used for Emeril, and I hope that if any character is added to this game, it will be him. I would also love to see music from Sonic Battle brought back. The only really remastered version is Emerald Beach that was in Sonic Generations, and there could be a stage based on Emerald Beach, or even Coliseum, or Rouge's nightclub. There's so much possibility in this, and I think that Emeril is my number one pick for Smash Ultimate's DLC. And that's everyone. Thank you all so much for watching and for sticking around till the end of this video. I dearly appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who watched this video. To all my old fans, don't worry, new videos should be coming very soon. And to my new fans who watch this video because they like watching DLC videos like I do, welcome. I hope you stick around, and I'm very happy that you decided to watch. Well, until next time, I'll still be in this void. See you later.